Welcome back to my Masquerade. My name is Para, your host, and welcome to Invite Me In. Now, I know. I know. I wanted to play something goofy, okay? This is a Yandere game, for those who do not know. I mean, I don't know if you've seen it on Steam or not, but I saw this Yandere game, and I was thinking, we did not play a Yandere game yet. Shocking. I know. But, let's begin. Let's just start off and see how it is. I think what I'm most excited about is how I'm gonna voice the Yandere dude. I just love voicing crazy people. They're not crazy, okay? They're not crazy. It's just if they want to kill people in society, that's a little bit crazy. All right, read contact warnings. Yes, this horror game demo that contains content made to include fear. It is not recommended for those easily disturbed. If needed, please read the contact warning before continuing. I'm just gonna play it up for you guys. You guys can read it if you want to. I can't speak right now. Ignore that. I feel like I'm on 3 cups of coffee. I don't know what's wrong with me today. If you are sensitive to any of these materials, please reconsider playing. Oh, you have to know my name? We're gonna name, no, not your name. Para M. Yes, just Para's fine. Para. As the sun finally sets, the lengthening shadows all begin to bleed together until everything is covered in darkness. My path is only illuminated by the occasional streetlight. And I start to become nervous again, like something bad is about to happen if not treaded with caution. I start picking up my pace as I get closer to home. I didn't plan to be out for so long, especially not at night all by myself. The grocery store bag clutched tightly in my hand seems much heavier, even though it only carries the sole jug of milk that I desperately needed before leaving the house earlier. Now I'm wondering if it was really worth the trip. Turning the corner just leads to another dark road. I debate whether I should slow down to prevent tripping or just break out in a run here and now. Break out in a run? Are you crazy? No, you would not see me leaving the house for just a cup of milk. You wouldn't even see me leaving the house if I was like on my last onion or vegetable, the last piece of food I had in my house. Even then, I'd consider just starving or going to the store. Who knows? But it's just a couple more blocks. Then I'll be back home. For some reason, nagging at the back of my mind, that didn't feel like an appealing solution either. If something dangerous really was just out of view, going back to an empty house was like throwing a blanket over your head to keep the monsters away. I used to do that. I used to do that when I was a child. It's moments like this I wish I didn't live alone. But I'm probably just anxious for no reason. I don't have any evidence that someone is really trying to hurt me. Just these paranoid feelings in the back of my mind that I should ignore. Definitely, totally. I'm scared of living alone in the future. Like, I got paranoid one time just because my parents left me and they were going shopping and they were like, okay, just stay here. And I would never been left before in the house alone. And I just got left alone. And I guess it was like hurricane season or whatever. I was so scared I was gonna die in that house all by myself. I was paranoid. I really have to stop trying to freak myself out. All it's doing is causing me to lose sleep, which makes me more on edge. Focusing on getting home is the only thing I need to worry about for now. Then I can eat dinner, chill out, and finally get some much needed rest. There he is, our Yandere boy. I'm feeling so uncomfortable already. Nothing's even happening, but I feel uncomfortable already. Just as I was about to turn down the last street, I see a figure sitting next to the sidewalk, a few feet in front of me. I immediately stop walking and try to get a better look before getting any closer. I hear my blood start to pulse faster in my ears. They're almost fully hidden from view, so I didn't have much of a chance to see them from further away, and they're perfectly still. I feel fear rising in me again, and I stay frozen in the same spot, my muscles tense, waiting to see if the stranger makes a move. They do nothing, and since it's so dark, I can't even tell if they have seen me or not. Though I keep getting the feeling they're staring right at me. It's terrifying, but I can't just stand here forever. I want to go home. Swallowing the lingering morbid thoughts and stirring up some heavy bravery, because we have little, some bravery, I begin to walk again until I'm only a couple feet away from the stranger. Once I'm closer, I can finally make out some of the vague details, depends which accent you say it in, of their face, his face, and we make eye contact. He's Yandere, but he's beautiful. By the way, I just want to point out that I do not like Yandere stories. I do not like Yandere actions. I mean, I like nothing about it, but my sister does. That's probably why I'm recording this. I just want her to just enjoy watching me playing a Yandere game. I flinch back a bit after seeing him look at me, and then I start to notice something strange. He's curled up on the grass, clutching his arms tightly to his body, and I begin to hear his heavy, uneven breaths over my own. He's hurt. Badly. As soon as I see the state he's in, I'm not only more worried than before, but now I'm also heavily concerned for his well-being. Hello? Can you hear me all right? Are you okay? What happened? For a moment, he just keeps looking at me. His expression is unreadable this far from a light source, but he must feel scared too. He doesn't respond. At this point, I feel he may be really, really injured. Maybe he can't even understand me. Do you speak Chinese or American, British, or konnichiwa? Just as I reach into my pocket to try to call for help, he finally speaks up. Something happened to me earlier. I was just trying to walk home and I'm just a bit hurt right now. A bit hurt? He doesn't seem like he's doing well at all. Do you need help? Can you walk? He leans forward and begins to push up on his arms like he's trying to stand up, but he quickly winces and sits back to his original position. It hurts. My arm really hurts. My legs are okay though. How did you hurt your arms? Is anything broken? Broken? I didn't break anything. He sits uncomfortably on the ground, trying to move his body to a more upright position. Didn't you? Who'd you kill? Who'd you kill? Didn't break anything. Yeah, you broke into someone's house. He looks at me a bit nervous. It's easier to see his face like this. A bit cute too, pretty pale, a little scary. What am I feeling right now? Yeah, he's a bit cute, sure. I didn't notice it before, but this guy has such nice wavy hair and pretty eyes. I feel kind of bad focusing on that, but the realization truly caught me off guard. His eyes shift away to focus on anything else. I'm not gonna say he's pale. Obviously, he probably must be suffering from some blood loss or something, so I'm not gonna judge him right now and then, alright? I shouldn't be thinking about this and instead try to find out how to help him. It must seem so rude right now. Please don't think I'm acting weird. Is everything alright? Oh gosh, he thinks I'm acting weird. Everything is totally fine. I'm just a bit squeamish about broken bones is all. You don't have to worry, my arms aren't broken, just a bit hurt. Well, okay. I'm glad it's not that bad then. You should really be more careful. Getting injured on this side of the world this late is really dangerous. You're right. I'm really glad you're the one who came along. It seems like I had nothing to worry about earlier. To think! I was so scared of him just moments ago. Like my brain was trying to warn me that he was like a psychopath or something. Like a serial killer. No. I thought I was going to die when I first saw him. But I was really overreacting. And now I'm just having a normal conversation with a stranger sitting in the grass. But I still don't really know anything about him. And he still seems pretty worried too. I should try to calm him down a bit more so I can help better. What's your name? My name? It's Devin. He seems really shy about it. I feel kind of bad asking now. That's a really nice name. It suits you. There's no way. I think your name is much nicer. My name? Wait, you know my name? Wait, what? I didn't tell you my name. Wait, how do you know my name? I didn't tell you it was... I didn't tell it to you yet. What the frick? Oh, you didn't? I'm sorry. I must have thought you said it already, and it slipped my mind. I feel a bit embarrassed. I hope you don't think I'm insecure now that I complimented something I don't even know, but I'm certain your name is nice. That's all I was trying to say. Sorry to confuse you. It's fine. I was just a bit caught off guard. So, is your name? I feel a bit hesitant to tell him now, but I really shouldn't fault him for an honest mistake. It's Para. Para? That's a nice name, just like I guessed. Devin is now more focused on his sudden blunder than the pain he's in, which is a bright side. I don't think that's what that should have said. It seems that conversation helped a bit, even if a bit awkwardly. Which is a bright side. Is that really something that goes in a sentence? Sorry, I can't stop thinking about it. He looks off to the side, trying to distract himself. Talking to a stranger like me seems to make him pretty nervous. As a sort of anxious reflex, he begins to mess with his sleeves on his sweater. He just ends up wincing in pain after pulling on them too hard. Do your arms still hurt to move? Yeah? Devin tries to move his arms again and gives up quickly. He pulls them back into his lap in a comfortable position. Comforting to position. Will he be able to make it back somewhere safe soon? It's horrible that his arms hurt too much to even make it home. I feel bad just leaving you here like this. Here, let me help you walk a bit closer to your house. You shouldn't have to sit here in the dark. My house is still a bit of a walk away. I should be fine. I feel better already after talking to you. It seems I may have been a bit too worried after all. At least let me walk you to the bench nearby to rest. It's better for you than just sitting on the ground. You'll help me? I really appreciate it. I just need some help standing up, and then I'll be okay to move on my own. Helping him out seemed like an easy enough offer, but actually finding a good way to lift him up gracefully was a harder task than I had guessed. Setting down my grocery bag of lonely milk on the sidewalk, I walk a bit closer to Devin. We both look at each other, trying to figure out the best way to go about this. I want to lift him up without hurting him or making him uncomfortable. Eventually, he moves his legs until they're bent under him, almost in a kneeling position. Then I move beside him, wrapping my arms around his torso. As I increase the pressure of my hold on him, his breathing becomes even more labored and unsteady. His body becomes incredibly tense despite how careful I try to lift. Are you okay? Sorry, just wanted to check if the volume's alright. This game is very quiet. I'm trying not to touch your arms too much, but let me know if anything hurts. It really doesn't hurt that bad. I can barely feel it. Feeling a bit more reassured after knowing he's okay, I give one final lift until he's up on his feet. Hey, he's taller now! We did it! Hopefully you're all good to go now. Is there anything else I can do to help? Should we ask that to a Yandere person? That makes no sense. That sounds like the psychotic answer. If I knew he was already Yandere, I'll ask anyway. I'm here if you need any... Before I can even finish what I was about to say, okay, I guess my opinion doesn't matter here, Devin begins to wobble over after trying to stand on his own. I quickly reach over to hold him steady, and he ends up leaning back into my arms, clutching my shoulders to keep from falling. What happened? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Are you sure? I can call someone for you, or get you a ride to a clinic if something is wrong. I think it's just my blood pressure after sitting there too long. I'm fine, honestly, fine. You also get dizzy when you stand up? Me too. I get everything just turns dark and I forget where I am. It's just, I don't know, I think I might have low blood pressure, just like this guy. Do you think you can try walking on your own? Or is that too much? I think I need a bit more time before walking on my own. I can just sit back down if it's too much trouble for you. It's not too much trouble at all. If you're okay with it, you can lean on me while we walk to the bench. I don't know how much you feel like moving right now. If I have your support, I'll be okay to move. Okay, I'll try to walk slower and not put too much strain on you again. We move in a side-by-side position, where his arm is over my shoulder as I wrap my arm around his back. I walk continuously at a steady pace as we get halfway down the street. I feel Devin's breathing as he pushes against me for stability. It seems to still be quick and heavy. His body also feels cold and damp. Just how long had he been there by himself? Is he really okay? I look over to glance at Devin's face, which is completely pale with a small smile creeping onto his lips. The image is almost frightening with the state he's in. Like, he doesn't even know how bad his condition is. No, like he doesn't even care. He notices me staring, and his unreadable gaze meets mine in an instant. It feels he can read every thought and intention running through my mind. Suddenly, his eyes soften and his grin turn more friendly, but the off-putting paleness is still there. You're really too kind to me. Even helping me walk? For a second, I feel I can't move. I can hardly breathe while looking at him directly. As I said, no trouble. I have to force myself to turn away from him and continue to focus on walking. Gosh, it's just so hot! Imagine him in his underwear! Oh no, he's hot! But I can still feel him right next to me as my heart hammers faster in my chest, and I pray he doesn't notice. Maybe I'm just imagining it. Maybe it's because we met in such a weird situation. But he looks at me differently than anyone else I've ever met. I strengthen my resolve and begin to push forward again. A bench! I finally get to the end of the street and turn the last corner. The bench is just a few feet away. Here we are. You should be able to rest right over there. I gently pull him over until he's able to safely sit down on his own. He seems a bit shaken up still, but he's much better off on a clean bench near a streetlight than on the ground in the dark. Thank you for taking me all the way here. It was considerate of you. Even though Devin says that, he doesn't look relieved at all. I think he feels sad. Our time ended, you know? No more, I'm gonna walk you down the street, we're gonna hold hands, blush a little. No, and I don't have to leave him here, on the poor post. I feel a bit guilty ending it like this, but just how much more can I really do? Hell, he didn't even want me to do this much. I'm glad I could help. I really hope you feel better soon. It was nice to meet you, Devin. Just as I'm about to walk away, his hand suddenly grabs mine. Ooh, oh. Let go of me! No, do not touch me! Would you literally say that to anyone after helping them? Like, do you think that's the type of person that you would be? You know this person. You're already, right next to them. Why would you react that way? Even if I didn't even know he was a serial killer or not. Whatever. Yandere, doesn't matter. Same thing. You need something else? Devin, are you alright? I'm gonna ask if he's alright. Because if I ask something else, then, I don't know, maybe he will ask for something else. I don't want to do demands. I immediately turn around and hold his hand on my own, while trying to be gentle with his arms. What do you need? Did you change your mind about calling for some help, or going to the doctor? I don't want you to suffer alone, so I don't mind waiting here with you. Devin looks up at me with wide eyes, like he wasn't expecting this at all. See? You know what you gotta do? You gotta be nice to your Yandere person. You gotta freak them out. You gotta be like, oh, I was expecting for you to kidnap me. And then boom, they feel weirded out, right? They're like, oh my gosh, I could have just had a normal conversation with her this entire time? I don't know. Don't take this to heart. Don't take this as actual advice, okay? I'm joking here. As I begin to sit down on the bench next to him, he finally pulls his hand away and stops me. No, I didn't change my mind. Thank you, though. I just wanted to let you know... I want you to know... You left your milk behind earlier while helping me, and you probably don't want to forget that. My milk? Oh my gosh, that's right! I totally forgot! I guess I got so distracted helping you, I almost didn't remember to go back for it! Thanks for reminding me, Devin. What would I do without you? He quickly becomes flustered again and shakes his head a bit. Didn't you say I'm the reason you got distracted in the first place? Maybe so, but it wasn't like you did it on purpose. So, I'd still say you're pretty helpful. Devin looks off to the side a bit embarrassed. I'm going to go grab my milk now, but let me know if you need anything else. I'll have to walk back by there to get home anyways. So, I'll see you in a minute. By the way, this is a demo. Yeah, I'll see you in a minute then. I give a small wave and start to jog towards the corner we just came from. I make a turn and begin walking down the previous road to where I left my milk. I really am glad that Devin said something because I would have felt so ridiculous once I got home. It was the only reason I came out here and went through this wild evening after all. It only takes a few seconds to find the lonely bag sitting on the sidewalk. The time makes me realize just how slow we were walking before. A distance that felt like it took ages to traverse was really a short jog. I quickly glance over the milk to make sure it's still in good condition, and the jug looks perfectly fine. It was only out here by itself for a minute, but better to check than drink bad milk. Sure, you could always return it, right? Because you say it's like, you just bought it from the store like, what, literally 20 minutes ago, and you were like, no, this milk's bad, you can't give this to me. You have to return it and give me a good one. I scoop up the bag into my arms and start heading back. I should really say bye to Devin before heading home and check on him one last time. I run back to the bench to see him sitting there just as I left him. Well, something seems a bit off. He seems just as unwell as ever. In fact, he's not even looking at me now. Is he ready for me to just leave now, or does he even know I'm here? I step a bit closer so I'm right in front of him, and I try to duck down so I get one last look at his face. Well, I got my milk, so I guess I'll be headed back home now. As I said before, it was nice to meet you. Get home safe, alright? Just as I'm about to leave, I finally notice the dark stains forming all over his sleeves and onto the rest of his clothes. Earlier, they were small enough that they could be mistaken for shadows, especially in the dim light, but now it seemed much more obvious. Is that blood? Now it's impossible to ignore. The panic hit me like an anvil as I feel my heart drop. I looked down at the arm I had used to help support his body when we walked over here. There was a smudge of crimson streaked across his hand that I didn't see earlier. He was bleeding. He was bleeding so much. How did I not notice that? Don't you smell blood? Isn't it full of iron? Wouldn't it be sticky and disgusting and you'll notice it instantly? Isn't that what your brain says? Your brain goes, oh, don't touch that. That's nasty, dirty. You'll get a disease off that. I don't know. How do you ignore that? It doesn't seem possible. How did I not notice how bad it was? There was blood dripping down his hands now. Did I make it worse? Did I hurt him while carrying him here? No, I didn't mean to hurt him. Will he be alright? I lift Devin's shoulder to look him at the face. His eyes seem hazy, like he might pass out soon. You need to get to a hospital immediately. I'll call an ambulance. Why didn't you tell me you were bleeding this much? What happened to you? It's just a little bit of blood. A bit of blood? This seems like much more than a bit. Is it really that bad? Are you worried about me? Yes! Now just show me how you got injured. Show me how you got injured? What do you mean, show me your injuries? I walk closer and try to reach over to grab his hand. Suddenly, Devin moves up from the bench and stands in front of me. Para, please, just listen to me. I need help, but Devin seems to inhale deeply, like he's trying to rise all the courage and willpower he has. I want to rush over to help him sit back down safely, but I feel frozen in place. I just examine his face, waiting for a sign to grab and steady him again. His eyes glance at mine, shifting from assessing to pleading, like he really wants to, needs to tell me something. He still seems physically weak, but it's almost like he's even more energized now. Like something in the past few seconds totally revitalized his conviction. We both wait until he finally gets his bearings. Will you please hear me out? Yeah, I'll listen. I'm your stalker. I killed someone. Oh. I don't know how to feel about that. Is it really just, is there? Yeah. I didn't put mute. Yeah. There's There's just no music in this game. I'm gonna have to overlap it with something else. Devin steps a bit more into the light and raises his arms halfway into the air. It's like he's trying to reveal the injury without moving his sleeves, like he's trying to shield me from just how bad it is. But all I can see is more blood, and he seems to sense my concern. I didn't want to worry you too much, but it seems the state I'm in looks quite bad. To be honest, it hurts really bad, too. He grimaces as he looks down his arms. Maybe he didn't even let himself think how painful it was before. I didn't want you to know. My arms are much worse than I let on. Well, then why don't you let me call for help? Someone did this to me. They were trying to hurt me. Someone hurt you? Who? Devin looks at me. Wait, is he not the Yandere person? Oh my gosh, is this the random civilian who liked me and then the Yandere person was like, die! You know what I mean? Devin looks at me with a pained expression. He then stares at his arms again, looking at the stains forming along his sleeves. A stalker? A stalker? What, are you being serious right now? It's true, I don't really know what was happening until it was too late. Next thing I know, I'm on the side of the street and bleeding. My arms hurt so much, but I couldn't move. I was afraid I was going to be found again and killed. But then you found me instead, and I felt safe. I hope you understand, but I really can't go to the hospital like this. Surely my attacker would know that's where I need to go, and they'd try to find me there. So I'm too afraid. Just the thought of it happening. It's okay, Devin, I understand. You're not going to call for help, right? No. Not if you don't want me to. But why can't we call the police? You might be in real danger. Police? I don't think that's a good idea. It makes me too nervous. Plus, I don't even think they would take me seriously after not believing me before. Looking at the blood continuing to drip from his hands, I feel it's hard to not take Devin seriously at the moment. But if he feels so certain about it, I shouldn't doubt him about this either. Then what are we supposed to do? We can't keep walking around like that. Or, I can't keep walking. You can't keep walking. What was it? You can't keep walking around like that. You crazy? I just need someplace safe. I really don't think I can just be home alone while someone is after me. Did he do this to himself? Is this a new plot Yandere people have figured out? It's like, okay, if we hurt ourselves, and then we make us take them home, it's like not even having to break in. They just take us home voluntarily. We're like lost dogs on the side of the road. But if there were some basic medical supplies, I could make it work. I patched myself up from worse. It feels like an inadequate solution, but my mind is racing too much to think of the good alternative myself. One thing I know for sure, I can't just leave him like this. I may be terrified, but that's nothing compared to what Devin is going through at this moment. I've been on edge on the past few weeks with thoughts someone has been watching me, but he's been living it. I feel a bit silly trying to relate. I can't help but feel a sense of connection though. Like it was fate that I happened to be the one here to help him. And wouldn't I want someone to do the same for me if I was ever in such a dangerous situation? As I've been going through my reasoning in mind. But as I've been going through my reasoning in mind, that's not a sentence, is it? Devin has just been staring at me with hopeful expression. Please take me home. If you need someplace to go, you can come to my house. Really? I can come to your house? Yes, Devin, I'll invite you in fully in open arms. I have a first aid kit I bought recently. I'm not sure how helpful it will be, but it's better than nothing. Yeah, that'll work fine. Sorry, I can't believe you're really helping me. Me? I'm not going to leave you out here alone or just hand you off to the people you don't feel safe with. I really do want to help you, Devin. We stare at each other for a moment, assessing this bizarre situation that's been laid out quickly in front of us. But the look on his face, he seems so happy, ecstatic even. This just shows that I definitely made the correct choice, right? Or did I even have a choice to not help someone in this much peril? I try to push down any feelings of uncertainty and move on to the next objective. So, we shouldn't stay out here too long, right? Isn't it kind of dangerous? Yes, that's right. We should leave right now. Devin's hand whips out to survey the area, but he seems quickly satisfied. I think we're safe, but it's best to be careful and hurry along. Alright, then let's go! I insistently walk over to Devin and lean against him, moving my arm across his back again. Para, what are you doing? Oh my gosh, stop! No, I'm underage! You still need help walking, don't you? After all this, I can't have you falling over on me. Oh! Yeah, I knew that. Of course. Sorry, I nearly forgot and it surprised me. Devin moves against my arms, and we begin to walk together again. Maybe it's from doing it before, but it feels easier this time. My house is just a few buildings down, so you don't have to wait too long. And then you can just stay with me for the night and call whoever you need to call in the morning. This is really too kind of you. I don't deserve it, but at the same time, I can't reject the offer. It's just too good to be true, am I right? Don't feel bad for it. I really do want to help you. Is there a reason why you want to help me? Or are you just the type of person who would help anyone? Devin's face looks a bit more upset when he says this. Does he really think I have weird motives? I'm not really sure. I just think that if I were in your shoes, I'd want someone to look out for me like this. I bet there's someone who would do anything for you. Sorry, what? This strange compliment makes my heart thump quickly in my chest. I try to ignore it, but it's soon all I hear. The flattery! The flattery! To distract myself from the noise, I look out into the darkness, trying to search for any stalking figures. He's right next to you, sweetie. He's right next to you. I make sure we aren't being followed, and there doesn't seem to be another soul in sight. For the past few weeks, I've constantly been seeing moving shadows and feeling eyes on the back of my head, but for the first time in a while, I don't feel anything at all. I feel safer. And as I finally see the front of my house in view, I think the rest of this wild night is just going to actually be okay. You have reached the end of this demo. Thank you, Para, for playing Invite Me In. Continue this game to see how the rest of the night unfolds later this year. The hearts above give you a clue to the path you are headed on. The hearts above give a clue to the path you were headed on. Green, orange, purple? What? Green, orange, purple. Guys, what does that mean? Help. I don't know. Anyway. Wow, that was okay. Short, but a good demo. It ended abruptly, though. I was not expecting that. I get it, though. You know, I was going to the house. That's a good place to end a demo. You know, the house will be somewhere else. I wonder if he's just really just gonna change inside the house. You think he's like actually gonna try talking, and that if we do like, there's an ending where we just live comfortably together, and he just, you know, isn't a psychopath all the time. See, the front screen had music, the menu. The rest of the game did not have music. The rest of the game was silent. There was even things here about sound volume. Sound volume? There was no sound volume. There was nothing. There was no sound for anything. Which is okay, perfectly okay. It's just a demo. I get it. Just weird that you would have those preferences and then not have either of both. You know, not even like these have sounds. So anyway, guys, that's all the time I have for today. Thank you for coming to today's Masquerade. I hope you really did enjoy. If you want to see more gameplay videos, then don't forget to subscribe to get an invitation to my next Masquerade, and click the like button to get this video to other people and to support me, your host, Para. Bye!